What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about VeChain. Absolute beast. Absolute beast. And certainly gains to be had for VeChain. It's in a long-term uptrend. Really strong project. It's the go-to project for logistics. It's just, and they're starting to really grow that ecosystem. I mean, there's got to be a big focus in doing that, but for sure gains to be had on this one. I also want to talk about Operation Choke Point 2.0, and you know, that's to do with the Fed and their continued attack on crypto. So we'll take a look at that in this video as well. But before I get into it, guys, if you are new to the channel, these are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel. They're also the first 26 coins I owned when I made this channel. Had you popped in just $100 into each of these coins when I released videos about them, and you were still holding those cryptos, you never sold them, you did everything wrong as an investor and just sat on them and rode them into a recession, if you sold them today, you'd still be able to bank over 16 grand, and that's doing absolutely everything wrong. And that's 16 grand profit, which is not too bad. But if you'd have sold these coins when the markets were absolutely red hot in 2021, like I did, $100 into each would have been able to net you a profit of 123 grand. Huge difference, obviously, between doing the right thing and the wrong thing. Now, as I said, I sold all these. They're not what I own. But if you want to see my current portfolio, you can do. You just have to go to CopyMyCryptocom. On the site, I share my portfolio. I let the members know in real time anytime I buy or sell any crypto. We release videos every day talking about the markets. We've got pinpoint accuracy on them for months and months and months and months now. We've also got a ton of tutorials set up. If you're a crypto beginner, you don't really know how to get started or anything, these tutorials are exactly what you need. They're the same ones I send friends and family when they're getting started in crypto. Then on top of that, guys, we have a history of success on our site and our channel. You know, we've called big winners on both, none more so than Phantom. Phantom absolutely rocketed up. I created a course in 2020 called The Best Crypto Investment of 2020, and it was all about Phantom and why Phantom will 100x or more. Ended up doing 677x. So had you put in like 2 grand into Phantom, you could have netted 1.3 million in profit. It's not bad. Now I'll find another Phantom, but when I do, I'm not going to create a course like I did last time. I'm simply going to go onto my site and do what I do with all my holdings, which is tell the members about the coin, tell them the gains I think it can have, and tell them the percentage of my money I'm putting in. And if they want to copy along, they can do. If that interests you, if you want to find the next big winner in crypto without doing 100,000 hours worth of research, go read the site now, and remember that everything you read you can verify on this YouTube channel's history. So, VeChain, currently priced at 2.8 cents. Oh. Now, market cap's massive. Market cap's already still 2 billion. Most of the circulating supply is out, 84%, it's not bad. VeChain, launched in the back end of 2018 when we were already in a bear cycle. Well under a cent for a while, well under half a cent for a bit as well, and just we ended up seeing that rocket ship sort of move from VeChain up to around 23 cents. I think it peaked at like 27. So VeChain's an enterprise grade layer 1 smart contract platform. Now, they began as a private consortium chain, working with tons of different enterprises to explore applications of blockchain, and then they began their transition to the public blockchain in 2017. Their aim is to use distributed governance and Internet of Things tech to create an ecosystem which solves major data hurdles for multiple global industries, whether that's medical, energy, food and beverage, whatever. And by leveraging the power of their trustless data, VeChain is building the digital backbone that will underpin the 4th industrial revolution. And what they mean by that is a better tracking methods within logistics, better verification of products within manufacturing or within any particular industry, and they've really started to, like, they've onboarded some big clients within their sort of within their ecosystem. So the platform uses two tokens, which is the VeChain token and VeThor. Now, this is to manage and create value based on its VeChain Thor public blockchain. So the VeChain generates VeThor and acts as a store of value and value transfer medium. VeThor is what's used to pay for gas costs, separating the need to expend your VeChain when writing data. The additional benefit of this has the additional benefit of ensuring costs of using the network can be kept stable by tweaking certain variables, such as the amount of VeThor required to service a transaction. So when we take a look, they go through their solutions, and there's food safety track and trace, there's sustainability track and trace, there's general supply chain track and trace, low code deployment, blockchain as a service, and NFC solutions, which are chips and tags. And they are working with, they're working with farms, they're working with agricultural companies, they're working with, a ton of different non-crypto companies. And that's what's quite incredible. They've got over 300 enterprise partners, they've got 3,000 enterprise users. And as I said, the 5 product categories are, we went through. But you can see as well the food safety track and trace SaaS, which is a blockchain-enabled food traceability platform that provides the food industry with various traceability functions that are readily deployable, such as product provenance and quality certificates. So it creates a new interaction that allows food and beverage companies to communicate and communicate to their clients in a trustworthy manner. And again, this is just impressive. It's impressive how many people they've onboarded, and you can see them. These are not small groups. Walmart China, you got bloody BMW. These are, some of these companies are absolutely like huge billion-dollar companies. And if VeChain's providing the infrastructure for their supply chain, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. And just from that perspective, the fact that VeChain has quite clearly got a stranglehold on the supply chain sector within crypto, it should do very, very well. But then you factor in as well that they've got a growing ecosystem. Because of their now layer 1 smart contract, they've got a blockchain that's starting to really add some projects. We saw some NFT projects that that was launched on VeChain last year and the year before. They're doing okay. They're not doing amazingly, but to be fair, last year not much did amazingly because it was a bear cycle. And they have a grants program now. So the VeChain Foundation grants program allows obviously developers to join, apply for a grant, and if they earn a grant, then they can, if they win, they can go live with their project on VeChain. So you can get up to 30 grand for each application. There's also a 1.5 times bonus, a 50% extra bonus for an economic X node. So the application process is, as you would expect, it's a standard application process. But you can see the grant recipients that they've done so far, V blocks, and you can actually see the financial breakdown of what they got. So what that does do is, again, it shows a couple of things. It actually shows where the foundation believe value is coming. Because they're giving more if they think there's a greater potential. It's kind of that simple. You've got VRocket, which is a DEX on VeChain. You've got tons of stuff. World of V is an NFT marketplace. You've got VeChain.energy, aims to provide an easy to use service fee delegation service. There's plenty, and they like I say, the fact that they continue to push for me is a real good sign. You know, we're seeing legitimate growth from VeChain, and they're not doing anything in terms of a rapid fashion. I'm not seeing like, you know, huge speed in terms of how quick they're getting stuff done, but I don't necessarily need to see that. What I need to see is that they are growing, and as long as they continue to grow, you know, things fundamentally for VeChain look pretty damn good. Like I said, they've got a stranglehold on the overall market for the supply chain. They are, I mean, they are the king, you know, they're the daddy of supply chain for crypto, and fundamentally it's in a nice uptrend. You know, what it did in 2021 was pretty damn good. So I'm really intrigued to see how this goes. I actually think this can run up to 40 cents or more in the next bull cycle, as long as they keep this stranglehold they've got on supply chain, as long as they are continuing to create lots of different offices, because, you know, it was a Chinese based crypto, so obviously you know, with what happened in China in 2021, where everything like they decided to blanket ban crypto and everything crashed. So VeChain have shifted around, so they're not just a sole base in China anymore. In fact, you know, they spread around very, very nicely. I think they've moved their main base as well. And then, if they can grow, if they can add to that ecosystem, if they can bring in value projects, DEXs, DeFi, you know, if they can bring in some real quality DeFi, whether it's yield earning opportunities, whether it's lending and borrowing, let's bring in several different iterations of that, so that there's just real advantages from a retail perspective. Because fundamentally, retail investors just want to make profit, but a lot of retail investors wouldn't use Uniswap because of the astronomical fees. VeChain doesn't have that. The fees are really quite low because obviously you know, pays for the transactions. So if they can really get a booming DeFi ecosystem, like a real booming DeFi ecosystem, retail will flock there. Really, really cheap, fast, easy to use. The 40 cents, like a new high, seems very, very achievable for a crypto that fundamentally is working with multiple multi-billion-dollar companies, and they're working with them because their supply chain track and trace software or track and trace products work insanely well. But what do you guys think? Can it do more? Can it do less? Could it hit $1? Probably not, I don't think. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And if you are a returning viewer, hit the subscribe button. Trust me, these videos are going to make you money. They're going to save you money. You don't want to miss them. Then on top of that, karma is a real thing. If you do something nice, your karma points go up. And you know what's nice? Hitting the subscribe button. And before I get into Operation Choke Point 2.0, if you guys want to see the coins I own, go to CopyMyCrypto. On the site, I share my portfolio. I let the members know in real time, anytime I buy or sell any coin. Videos are released every day where we talk about the markets and what we expect to happen. We've had pinpoint accuracy. We've called the exact move of Bitcoin so many times over the last few months. So if you're interested in that and you want to know how the market cycles and everything work, you're going to want to watch them. Then on top of that, we've got the tutorials in place. These are perfect for beginners. If you're a crypto beginner, you don't even know where to get started, these are exactly what you need. And then, guys, we pick big winners. Big winners. No one in crypto, no crypto YouTuber, no crypto influencer, whatever you want to call them, no one was talking about Phantom in 2020. No one was saying this is going to be a big winner. Go search Phantom in your favorite crypto YouTubers histories. I created a course about Phantom, solely about Phantom. I've only made one course ever, and it was about that. And I said it would 100x or more because of the plethora of reasons I gave in the course. It did 677 times gain. So 2 grand could have netted 1.3 million. I'll find another Phantom, and when I do, I'm not going to do another course. I'm simply going to go onto my site, tell the members about the coin, the gains I think it can have, and the percentage of my money I'm putting in. And if they want to copy, they can. if it sounds good to you, finding the next big winner in crypto without having to do 10,000 hours, 15,000 hours, 20,000 hours of research, go read the site now, and remember that everything you read you can verify on this channel's history. And last thing, guys, Operation Choke Point 2.0. This is the Fed warning that could affect over 130 banks. So a statement released yesterday, I know it says today, but it was yesterday, from the Feds, saw the regulator warn US banks about crypto-related liquidity risks. Now, with government intervention having many fearing for Operation Choke Point 2.0, the government's attempt to shut down crypto, that same Fed warning could affect more than 130 banks that are involved. And this is just it's a reiteration of effectively the problems that we're seeing in the space. We've got an SEC that's trying to do regulation by enforcement, but because there's no clarity, it's like, oh, everyone's wrong. Is everyone wrong? Is everyone a security? What are you talking about? Like, there is no clarity. And I don't know how they can justify any of the cryptos that they've highlighted as passing the Howey test. And that's the only way you're meant to be able to be identifiable as a security. It just doesn't make sense. But it's clear attacks. Like, it's nothing about it is comes from common sense, or comes from a sensible position. It comes from nonsense perspectives. So with regulatory agencies increasing their effects against the crypto industry, the Fed Deposit Insurance Corporation has noted significant crypto adoption from banks. Finbold reported data released yesterday that shows more than 136 banks in America are involved or planning to be involved in crypto-related activity. So the Fed warning could affect significant banks. Obviously, over the past few weeks, we've seen the SEC go after a number of different people. They went after Kraken and crypto staking, and eventually shutting down Paxos BUSD issuance. Subsequently, the Fed Reserve has not joined the discussion. Releasing a joint statement yesterday, the US regulatory body has wanted banks to stay on high alert about crypto liquidity risks. Conversely, with many fearing an Operation Choke Point 2.0 that Fed warning could affect more than 130 banks. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. The greatest hindrance. I mean, this is a fair point. The greatest hindrance to crypto thriving in the US is not government involvement; it's a lack of regulatory clarity. Even as the Fed issued the warning, it came with no guidelines or restrictions. It simply provided a nice fearful note that the industry comes with risks. Now, it's not the Fed's job to actually provide that, but what needs to be reminded is, look, if you live in America and you are a crypto investor, which I'm presuming you are if you're watching this, getting in contact with your governmental representatives is a good thing for you guys to do. Like, I can start, of course I can send a bunch of letters to the governors around America, but that'd be a weird thing for me to do. But they're elected representatives. They're meant to represent the will of the people. Show your will. Ask for the governors to start trying to push for clarity. Because I'm not a fan of regulation. I'm generally not. But the problem without regulation is the SEC doesn't have a leash on them. So you never know what they're going to do. And fundamentally, as a retail investor, the SEC are damaging retail investors more than anyone else. Because if say you were in a heavy position in, let's go with, you can go with a few, like Veritasium or XRP, just a few years ago. And then you've got this long ongoing BS of a court case that shouldn't even have gone to court. What that's done for the price of those tokens at the time of, throughout that entire period of sort of legal battles, it damaged the price appreciation hugely. And as a retail investor, Retail investors have been heavily damaged by the SEC. And even if it's just a case of getting your respective governors to go, right, explain how you can justify this, or give the people some clarity, give the sector some clarity. How many billions of dollars, out of curiosity, must be on the sidelines waiting to get into the crypto industry, but will not do it until there's regulatory clarity? I imagine that number is astronomically large. It won't just be 1 billion or 2 billion. It will be a huge sum of money. And again, the damage is caused by no clarity. The damage is caused by institutions that are just, quite frankly, acting like they're in the wild, wild west and going gung-ho and attacking everyone. I don't know. My perspective, anyway. But again, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What's your thoughts on Gary Gensler and the SEC? And I'll see you soon. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.